Hi, I'm Nick, Head of Content for Loxone US. With me today is Rudiger Keinberger, CEO of Loxone International.
Hi there.
We're going to be spending some time with Rudiger today and ask him a few questions about the history of Loxone, where it stands in the market, and where it's going. So to get us started, Rudiger, how would you describe Loxone in a single sentence?
It's difficult because we are so powerful, but basically the world's smartest building automation solution that provides really full control of all the functions in a house.
Great. And could you give us just a little bit of the history of Loxone and how it evolved to where it is now?
So when Loxone started, it had been completely different than all the other companies out in the field right now acting in building automation because there had been no background. So the idea was that building a house and seeing what kind of functionality we are having in these days already on cars, like the self-parking, like almost autonomous driving, like let's say the garden is going to be mowed automatically, but the house still had been pretty dumped. If you want to have some function, it always had been really complicated, really expensive, and typically what had been expected to be a smart home never really worked out that way. So that was the idea, that the two founders, both of them were building houses, both of them are very technically interested. They said, okay, we have to change this. We have to make building automation simple, affordable to everybody, and safe.
Great. And now how does Loxone differentiate itself from other companies in the building automation sphere?
Oh, good that we have this product here right now, because this acts exactly like the brain of a human being. So we started out with one product, with the brain. So like a human being has sensors like fingers, eyes, ears, but the brain finally tells what it is about. So we started out with the brain, teaching the brain, using all kind of sensors on the market, bringing this intelligence then together, and then based on the decisions made, actors did what had to be done. Either turning the shades down, taking the light on, bringing music into the room, etc. All of this had been, from very beginning, done with the green brain, which is nowadays, in a lot of parts of this planet, this is the symbol for intelligence in a house.
We need to bring that kind of awareness to America. Now, question for people who might be considering partnering with us or people who might be considering integrating Loxone into their homes or businesses. How do we ensure that we can provide value, particularly to clients who are concerned with return on investment?
So let's say on the one hand side, the partners, they're enjoying a real fair partnership with us. We are having an absolutely strict partner program that is very fair based with what kind of experience our partners do get. In order to make sure that the quality stays up, our partners are constantly, so on an annual basis, joining our trainings. Because intelligence in a building is about software. So we typically like to compare this with the iceberg model. So what you buy from Loxone is about 15%, this is hardware. What you get is the real power, is the real energy management thing, is everything about intelligence, and this is software. Only software can really bring the intelligence into a house, and this is subject for changes. So which means we are constantly developing. Actually, we have 150 development engineers working on every day's improvement of our systems, and this is the software. The software is free of charge. So which means all of these functionalities that we are offering nowadays is free of charge. It's just the products that they're buying. And for partners, the profitability is about utilizing, free of charge, incredible software power that we provide to them. Like, let's say, one function, for instance, if it's auto shading, this is professional programmers are working 120 hours on a program like this. This is free of charge. So which means the full functionality is ready for our partners just with the push of a button.
Wow, that really does help us stand apart with so many companies going towards subscription models, charging for updates, or not offering free software. That's a huge sell point. So how do we then, with our software and our hardware, ensure high quality and reliability?
would say the one quality is what I was already mentioning, that we're constantly improving our products, constantly working on the software features that we're having. And the one thing, if it comes to smart homes, every Loxone out, and we're having actually almost 400 Loxone outs on this planet, is using Loxone in his everyday life. The other thing, if you're then coming to commercial applications, then we again made a development completely different than everybody else. If we went into hospitality, then we started an investment on our side, and this is, I would say, the only spot on this planet where you can really fully experience what building intelligent means for a hotel, for a restaurant, for a wellness area, for offices up to 300 people, for a warehouse, all of this fully controlled exactly by the green brain of building automation.
The green brain, fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about the automation market now. How do you see the home and business automation market evolving, and what opportunities does that offer towards our partners?
The actual situation that we're talking a lot about CO2, we're talking about carbon footprint, we're talking about energy costs. And at the end of the day, I think this is the most sensitive thing that companies are reacting to it. It's going to be not just a comfort thing having automation, it's going to be an economic must. Because, let's say, intelligent buildings are reacting to every individual situation. So if a room is not occupied, why the hell should it be lightened? Why should there be music? Why should there be air conditioning running? Why should these rooms be heated? Just by utilizing this, and imagine, I mean, especially if it's pretty hot outside right now, if you're going into a hotel, you typically feel as soon as you enter your room, it is freezing cold, even if it's outside pretty hot. So this is 24/7. 24/7 just blowing energy. How much time do you really stay in the hotel room? So that's about what, and let's say based on the intelligence of our system, we know how strong is this air conditioning that you're having. How long does it really take you? But typically, especially here in the US, the ACs are really strong. So typically from check-in until you're entering the room is enough to really get the room down to the temperature. Then it's, instead of having 24 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, whatever you're spending really time in the room. So that alone gives you saving possibilities like hell. In total, we say roughly an intelligent building versus a conventional building saves about 40% of energy costs.
That is significant savings and probably music to any building owner's ears.
Absolutely, right.
Great. So Loxone has had fantastic success in Europe. You can hardly go across a town without seeing something Loxone. Now that we're penetrating into the US market, what do you find different about the United States automation market?
I mean, building automation on the whole planet looks about the same. So maybe our focus in the past had not been strong enough on the US market. The difference, however, that we are seeing in the private home market is that people in Europe typically, they really take lots of time to think about every detail of the biggest investment that they're doing once in a lifetime, because typically if they're building a house, they're going to stay there until they die. In the US, the thing is a little bit different. So the building market is done by developers. That's another thing, and therefore the decision-making process is a different one. But it doesn't change the whole efficiency, the whole necessity. And I think, so let's say what really drives our company is the strong belief that every building in the US deserves intelligent solutions.
Absolutely do. So what steps is Loxone currently making, has made recently, to make inroads into the US market? How are we trying to make America green?
The thing is that really the different approach that we have taken because of the decision-making process for smart homes, so privately owned houses, we said, okay, let's take the other approach. And also our history had been pretty much not just smart homes, even that our name recognition had been pretty much connected to smart home. This may be because of one thing, nobody really designed, or I would say the way that we influenced what nowadays the common understanding of smart home is, There's no other play out there. So this is one of the things why Loxone Smart Home is really that tight connected. Nevertheless, we always had our inroads in all kind of commercial applications, and right now we let's say since 1 year about we started to approach this market. And seeing this inroad right now on big chains where because of the, let's say, different awareness of energy consumption, energy costs, carbon footprint, etc. Big groups like, for instance, McDonald's. McDonald's is most likely one of the largest chains on the planet. In the meantime, we have changed about 100 locations, not yet in the States. But I think this is something where we are really going to see the synergies if you're doing in an international chain like this. Results like return on investment rates of less than half a year. Everybody, every manager in a business, everybody that owns a business, if you would not do a return on investment that's less than 6 months, you would ask yourself if he is a real manager or if he just likes to burn money.
Very true. And one can imagine with a franchise, something like a McDonald's, a Walmart, any kind of brand that is ubiquitous across the United States, when you factor in energy saving on every single one of their locations, the amount of money put back in business owners' pockets is astounding.
Really. Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the future then. How does Loxone stay ahead of trends and stay on the edge of innovation?
I think one of the real things is that we are using automation on an everyday basis. As I mentioned with our campus, we are operating a hotel. So we are not just supplying a solution, automation solution to a hotel and let them stay alone. We are getting everyday feedback, so our hotel manager, from our guests, etc. So we constantly improve on this. And this is with all the applications that we are out there. We are experiencing every day and we are developing and we are improving every day. And it's with the power of software developers, more than 100 people being software developers, we are really fast on this. The other thing is that, let's say, one of the founders, nowadays still owner, is mastermind of all of this. So the way that he thinks is, I would say, really kind of a visionary person that is pretty much involved in the day-to-day applications. And that is, I think, one of the issues he really considers about the future, about us not reacting to markets, not reacting to what competitors are doing. We are staying ahead with what we are convinced is going to be the truth. Double checking on, let's say, the biggest megatrends. So if you're talking about the 9 big megatrends, 7 of them, we have the solution for it. So that, I think, makes us really that we are not, if it comes to energy management, we are not taking energy to analyze what our competitors are doing. We are not trying to follow what kind of great studies are done here and there. We are really focusing on what we are convinced is going to be the future in building automation.
That's great. Speaking of the future, innovation and developments, what upcoming developments or products from Loxone are you most excited about? Or, alternately, what would you love to see us do more of?
Number one, I think the world needs all buildings to become intelligent. This is if we're talking about everything that, let's say, having electric driven cars, having all kind of regulations that we are actually doing. The biggest impact that we can have in order to make this planet worse for also the next generation to stay on a let's say, quality of living, because we are not having the pollution outside there. The biggest impact is going to be in buildings, because about 40% of the CO2 pollution is produced by buildings and their usage.
Wow.
We are quite convinced, as I mentioned already, that 40% of this could be cut off. So there is no other measurement on this planet that has such a big impact. And it's just, I mean, the solutions are there. It's just about installing them in all of the buildings. Then we make this planet definitely a better one.
Loved it. Love that. All right, last thing before we wrap up here, what message would you have for potential partners who might be looking to join the Loxone family?
they're missing out an opportunity if they are not jumping on the train of success. So we are ready to really invite them, jump on the train. We are offering them, I would say, incredible possibilities. It's about, let's say, with all the functionalities that we're offering to them, it's about 7 business fields that we're bringing together in a training of 1 week. They're going to become a specialized. Either if this is access control, if this is lighting control, if this is audio control, if this is shadings, if this is climate, if this is safety, if this is energy management. All of this are absolutely top jobs requiring a lot of know-how. We are bringing all of this together, and again realizing it in one brain, and knowing what this brain is really about and how powerful it is. This is in a training program that we have developed especially for, let's say, system integrators, electricians, IT persons. They can jump on this train. And the one thing is they're missing out, I would say, really a business opportunity not joining us. On the other side, if they would like to be, let's say, also active in making this planet a better one, we have the solution for them.
Yeah, so whether they want to just improve the planet or their bottom line, we're the solution. Great. Well, this has been incredibly insightful, Rudiger. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Nick. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome.
Looking forward to make this US green.
Make America green.